Welcome, L127 here. So, last time in our Factorio playthrough, I basically completed the train schedule thing. Basically set up the trains, and I'm basically ready to finally finish the whole thing. Speaking of power is kind of alright at the moment. Anyways, currently it's doing the science lab I put down previously. It will come to a point that we're gonna use those. For now, I feel like I'm going to need to tweak the whole science to fix the whole problem. So yeah. The first thing though is I also going to be removing the whole thing here, as I'm planning to do a rocket silo rework here, and the whole thing here is also going to be removed. As we're going to set it for rocket silo, and don't do those, don't delete those. Alright. So in this part, I plan to finally finish the Nelfis space and finally set up the science production. So I can finally move on towards the next stage, which is going to be go to Gleba, also the science of Fugorok, because I only really get to electromagnetic ones because this building really helps quite a bit on my kind of production, so I just decided to go for this production. Alright, so there are going to be a few things I plan to do before moving on. So we are going to finish the few important buildings that we are going to be working on. So the first thing is I have set up the pipe for more and gear for more. But we are going to need to complete the engine units, electric engine units, these two important materials. I already have rocket fuel. It's needed for train, so I might as well just get this started. And we're also going to need to finish off the battery, and we're also going to need to finish off the battery production, the explosive for military base stuff. Also to be able to make cliff explosive laser here at the base, when we got to be able to make a calcite ship. After getting advanced H-ray processing, it's going to be a while though, as that requires agricultural science, which is requires me to finish off Gleba, which is still a long time away from that. Anyways, I have set up the mold. I have transitioned the mold to take these kind of resources from corn. So the first thing I want to do, as we have the stone bricks and we have the. Do I have stone bricks? Yes, I have the stone bricks, and then I have iron. I also have sticks being made. So what I want to do here is I want to first set up for I also did some updates on my blueprints. But the first thing is we are going to set up for walk for. We're going to do some production of concrete. Concrete is going to be quite important in some form. And then we're also going to be making for refined concrete. which is also going to be 500 for this machine. And then we are going to be making we're also going to be making one 1000 hazard variant. I think I only need 500 of the hazard variant of the as I actually use some of the hazard concrete form as a part of the build, so I will need to settle for hazard concrete production. And then I also need water for this to work, so I may have to find a better place to get water, or try my best to be able to utilize the water here, so it doesn't interfere with my future build. Or said future build. I don't know when, but probably before actually doing Gleba or during Gleba. I can't be sure, because I will soon need to work on uranium products, so I can get some important upgrades that I would like to take. I mean, since I don't have pipes going, or is the robot is just very slow. Can't be sure about that, but here, this is going to be the uranium fuel cell. I plan this to be uranium fuel cell, but we don't have uranium going. I could have potentially started uranium mining, but I don't have sulfuric acid going at the moment, so the first thing is we're gonna set up for factories, but the first thing is that since I have so much issue with I had this running, but how's out here? I think the problem is that, yeah, you're not taking the gears. So the only way to solve this problem is by doing this. So it gives all the higher priority for the, or should I say, like having more logistic robots to work with this part. So it delivers a lot more iron gear wheels for this. So iron gear wheels can potentially load faster or roll faster. As you can see here, our iron gear wheel production is going, and the iron gear wheel is being quickly drained, thanks to the fact that there's a lot going with this thing. As there is a lot of robot activity, I need to start to improve how this actually go, because without improving without doing any sort of improvement for the robots, they're going to have a big issue for the work time. So I need to tweak this bit, and which said that I need to start to implement some extra roboports for the project. Additional roboports will be very nice for the work for the workstation, or for this workspace where a lot of robots are going to be active. To be able to help this part out, as there's a lot of other things going. I currently don't have heating tower, so I want to remove this for now. It's only really needed when I started agricultural science. though the lab wouldn't probably last for long. Though it may last for a reason that later on when we get the biolab, it's going to produce pollution. And then it's going to be a bit tricky to deal with the pollution created by biolabs. It wants research, but this will then cause quite a bit of pollution production. To my experience, as I have been putting a lot of efficiency modules everywhere, basically putting efficiencies everywhere. As I don't really put efficiency modules on labs. What is going to happen is that I will end up putting uh, productivity modules on labs. Like, it's not really worth uh, sacrificing the science packs by using other types of modules. So it's basically that you want to put productivity on the labs always. So the only way to apply efficiency will be using the beacons. Uh, and then beacons don't really help that much when dragging down the pollution production, or should I say, power consumption for these things, as it really drains quite a bit of resources for that to even go through to reduce the pollution production caused by this. Caused by this type of pollution or pollutant. This is certain. That is certainly going to be the greatest pollutant in the future, and unfortunately, there isn't really a way to address such issue because the science matters, and all I really care is the science. The science needs to go. So later on, as though it doesn't give out much of impact for science for this part, as as we are really close to 0.9 evolution factor anyways. That when we have behemoths, it doesn't really matter how far we actually pollute, because it's already this high evolution. It's already that high evolution. Like, trying to drive down pollution production doesn't really matter. But at the current point, I would say this as still in the grace period because we haven't yet reached 0.9 evolution factor. So I may as well try to drag down pollution production. Maybe I start to use biolabs when we start to get to behemoths. I don't know. But we will have to change to biolabs in the future, as biolabs are really powerful. Though it can only be used on Nelphys, so might as well just get the Nelphys base established for this. It's going to require uranium to make the biolabs, so uranium 235 will be needed. Then I will need quite a bit of Corforex going to be able to uh, supply the needed uranium production for that. Or should I say 235 production. As a Corforex mainly for uranium 235, while the uranium processing is mainly for the uranium 238. But you need a uranium processing to get the uranium 235 required for kick starting. So the first thing is that I'm going to do the sulfur projects. So the way I'm going to do sulfur is I'm not going to bring sulfur on the train. And another reason for me to get sulfur, get the chemical science rather close to water compared to the other science packs, is that I'm actually going to make sulfur on site instead of bringing sulfur using trains. That's also the reason why I have some bit of water there that I can then make the sulfur. And then here, I will be making the two critical thing for sulfur. As sulfur is mainly used in these few things. Coal synthesis, you don't need this analysis, so it's mainly the sulfuric acid explosive, and then you only need to make making the chemical science packs. So the first thing, I already have some production going with it. This will then supply for substation grids. So the first is so the first thing is the sulfuric acid. There is the second part of the picture is the explosives. So it's going to take a bit more chemical plants for that to set up. I would like to get the chemical plants capital raise up. It's bind to 50. I would have imagined that. Doesn't really matter. As for oil refinery, I would like to stick it to 40. But I need really quite a bit of chemical plants for this project. I may also adjust it. I don't want to do this for the regulating surface. Feels like I'm going to be needing quite a bit of bulk insertion. So first let's do an increase on fast inserter and then do this to the bulk inserter. I will also increase some things. That comes here. I don't really need this mining drill. Projects I still need. Potentially I will possibly going to encounter or actually just stick to 40. Later on, I will need to consume labs for biolab production. I want to automate biolab production so I could potentially get a better quality biolabs in the future. That's a part of a plan though. I'm not sure how this will go. I don't think this is unnecessarily required for now. I don't need to really work on anything on military at the moment. Things just need to work at this current state. And chemical plants are being made very slowly. Batteries will also need chemical plants. So let's work on low density structure, I feel like, because we already have the 3 materials needed for LDS. Might as well just get this sorted. So the plan is a red belt of copper, 4 red belts of copper being used up. So the first thing is I need to settle for 4 red belts of copper. Well, first let me grab some of the past things I use, some bit of the factories I used to make to work with the things. Might as well copy the whole thing here, as it's easier to copy paste like this, and then I don't need to worry anything about this at all. Then I can just easily copy paste everything here and get the things done. Engine is going to be quite interesting. I already have the engine production, as the concept is the ratio. So the So one sulfur is going to be able to handle 8 explosive uh, production, and then 5 sulfur production is going to be able to feed 2 sulfuric acid production. But I need quite a bit of chemical plants for those. And then the next thing is I'm going to need to produce quite a bit of these things. Might as well just raise up the production for these. The most difficult part is going to be the speed modules. I have quite a bit of speed modules, so this should be fine for now. And I also have some of this speed module. I may as well just raise up the production for speed modules because I'm going to need quite a bit of those anyways. So let's talk about low density structure. But first, let me copy the second half of the thing, and then I can start to talk about low density structure. This is one of the easier blueprints you need to worry. One of the easiest things you need. One of the easier things among these 4 rather advanced things for production. We already have most of the things in production, yes, but it's never enough in some source. And to get this working, then we need to start to set up for production. So the first thing, low density structure. I would have considered it being the most simple one among the list, as the engine is going to be quite complicated due to the reason that it takes quite a bit of time to make. It doesn't cost that much resources, but it takes time. So you will need a lot of assembling machines to get a nice production of that going. Or should I say, consume a reasonable amount of resources for making that thing. Low density structure is also long time consuming, but it's really bottlenecked by copper requirement, so you don't really need that much of assemblers going for this. I may consider going for productivity modules on both the processors and the low density structure, as later on we will need a lot of those for market production and utility science. And for utility science, my plan is to settle for robot frame production on site and then send it along with the processing units and low density structure to make the science specs. For production science, I will make all 3 things on site, all 3 ingredients on site. Same for the military and the other things. But for chemical science, I will be bringing the advanced circuits and the engine units, and then make sulfur on site. That's basically the plan, and that's also the reason for this to be close to water. But I will need to be able to get to the water. So first is let me get to the water if I am going to use the water. Alright, so let's talk about low density structure while I'm about to settle for my sulfur production. So let's see how much copper is used for low density structure. 1.66 per second for each machine. So if we put our calculator and do a basic calculation for this, it's going to be about 18 machines for this. And I want to keep this as simple as possible. So I will be doing a basic assembly lines like this, very straightforward single line production for this. And then and you don't really need to use the green arms for this, so I will just use the basic blue arms for this production. As we don't really need to like mass deliver the copper. That's it. It's not a ridiculously fast recipe compared to something like this. 80 per second. That's insane. Yes. Not even the green is enough. So that will be interesting to talk about. Because for a ridiculously for significantly faster uh, ingredient demands like that, or ingredient throughput demand like this, like 80 per second, you're just going to need several blue ounce for that to get this to work. It has to be done that way because it's simply too fast for a singular green arm. I don't even think a legendary green arm is going to be able to cover this. So let's talk about I'm gonna do the low density structure first, I think. So let me find my this plasma food. I will put the balancer later. Alright, so let's put the balancer. I want the copper to be in the inner side of the belt. So it gets to you it gets because delivered using the blue arm. It's a faster arm. So we definitely be using this. And then the next part is we're going to deliver both the steel and the plastic. And that's when the things get a bit complicated because I plan for dual belts, two lane belts for this. That's the low density structure. We only need to wait for the things to be delivered then. Alright, so the next thing is sulfuric acid and explosives. And then after we are done with the sulfuric acid, we can start to possibly work on the uranium then. Also the batteries, and we also need also for processing units. So the first thing is to prepare for the basic production resources for this. The development has been long enough. I feel like I should just get things done already. So we're gonna get things done fast and swift. Nice and swift. Then the next thing is we need to connect these a few things for the resource belts. And then I'm going to start to connect the water because we will need to connect the water if I wish to. If I wish to get the sulfur actually move. And after the sulfuric gases, we'll also be able to produce processing units, many important things actually. So I definitely want to get the sulfuric acid set up. The sulfuric acid is already connected. Yes. Alright. That's already connected. Don't need this line. The trains have been waiting for very long, as they have been standing by there. So I definitely want to get this already started. Alright, so the first is the petroleum. It's already here, so let's put our petroleum from the station. And I also need to start to put water for this project. So the water is going to be from here. The water is going to be going through the train. So it's going to be going through several obstacles to be delivered to the house. Process for the house. To deliver the sulfuric gases and other important materials going to be needed for important production. For science, many things going to need quite a bit of production of each of things. Alright, so this is the sulfur section. Is the low density structure going? Yes. Alright. So let's talk about engine. So engine is a slow recipe, and it follows up a ratio of 2 pipe assemblers, 1 iron gear wheel assembler for 10 engine units. Well, actually, I think it's 20. 20 engine unit assembly. So here is the engine that I already made up for this project. It's a bit off ratio, as there is for each module here is 6 pipe assemblers with 4. Well, you just consider 3 pipe assembler 2. This is supposed to be 1.5, as there is 30 of this engine unit assemblers for this. And the way this works is that you input the, I believe you input the iron on the, yeah, it just goes out. So the iron is going to be coming in these two sections. So let's first put the iron. I shouldn't waste time, so I need to get this stuff right now. As I don't want to get time wasted. I would like to flip the thing. I would like to flip the. I would like to flip these two modules. The entries for iron are still the same. For steel, it's going to be a bit off. So. I want a symmetry. I want symmetry. So might as well just go with this. And that's the engine units. So let's get this done fast. So basically, that I put the pipes in the inner belt of the, well, whatever. The goal is to be able to put both the pipe and the gears in the both lanes, well, to separate out for each lane. So the pipes and the gears don't mix up in the same lane. So here is the pipe that is going to be coming to the inner side of the belt, which is this side, and the gears are just going to be basically on the outside of the belt. Then this will work. And as for the steel, it's basically what you have seen with the furnace stack here. This kind of concept has been going through many times. As for LDS, it's only being applied for the same side, so I would like to improve this with a little bit of tweaks here, so it doesn't just use the one side belt. It doesn't matter because we don't even have that much throughput for two sides, but I still want to kind of improve it this way. Or you can potentially have an aid for blue belts or yellow belts, slow throughput. But I don't think that you will be able to get a half a belt of low density structures this early, anyways. Well, I still consider myself in early game. Well, with all the science setup, we're still in early game, probably. Anyways, so sulfuric gas, I think. Oh yeah, I have sulfuric else. So let's put the iron. Then the sulfuric acid should work. Then explosive is working. Or I could just copy paste something like this. Oh, I haven't connected this. Need to make sure everything's working fine. Otherwise, I'm not so, I don't think I am safe to do anything safely. 840 efficiency modules. Yeah, this is going to be quite a bit of expense. How many efficiency modules? 9,000. Yeah, we definitely have enough efficiency modules for that. So the next is battery. And then we are going to start focus on the other things that involve fluids. So the first thing is very straightforward that we are going to be copying this whole section with this. Very straightforward. So battery, it doesn't really matter how much you make the battery assembly. It's actually a very straightforward build. Well, at least a basic build. So batteries are also a bit slow build. Here I will put focus on half a belt, and I will be using the same belt for iron and copper, so I can do the same effect that I did with the. It's going to be a lot of chemical plots though, and we're going to have plenty of batteries. It's going to be quite a bit of sulfuric acid, as it's mainly the sulfuric acid that makes the batteries. So there's 0.25%. So this is 1.5. So this is 3. Then I can copy this 5 times to get the needed. And then just a pipe down here. And do some basic furnace I'll just do some basic furnace work. And there goes there goes the thing. It's basically done. And I need to make sure where the batteries are outputted and where the ingredients are inputted before I could potentially screw things up. So it's gonna be a lot of sulfuric acid needed for this project. I could presumably scale up for this production. Batteries are going to be needed for robots. But also accumulators, and then it is then will be needed for utility science because we need robot frames, and then the batteries needs robot the robot frames needs batteries, which can be easily solved with the At the current state, I wasn't able to make any more robots because I don't even have batteries going. And I also need to get the electric engine set up later when I finish up the batteries, so I can actually finally get the robots resetted for production. So I can finally work on the science production. It has indeed a while before. It has indeed been a while before returning the science packs production. So, and we also going to be using modules for this. Sulfuric acid is now being delivered in. Okay. Petroleum gas is draining. Yes, it's slowly but surely being drained out, as the sulfuric acid is actually eating up quite a bit of. So 150. It says that 150 sulfur petroleum is going to be 100. So yeah, sulfuric acid will need more petroleum. Well, it's more compressor here, but it's very not so compressor compared to petroleum when it comes to focus, because you just have sulfuric effects. So yeah, battery is very easy. You don't need to worry about batteries either. And iron and copper is also very easy, so you don't really worry about making batteries there. You only really need to worry about making plastic. Plastic is a pain. Yeah. Alright, so the batteries are being made. The next thing that I'm going to work on is the electric engine units. So I also have this already set up. The electric engine unit is a bit more straightforward compared to the engine units, but still requires quite a bit of production facilities for this tool. Also, I'm going to flip this. So what you need is a heavy oil input, and I probably want to get this directed one away, so I can actually have a bit easier sense of putting heavy oil. So I don't plan to put lubricant uh, on the train system, because you only need to use lubricant on some of the recipes, notably the electric engine units and the express belts. So you don't really need to train lubricant or train heavy oil. Or you could possibly or you could possibly train the lubricant themselves, as heavy oil is mostly used for lubricant, but it's also used for co-liquefaction. So, but you don't really need to worry about delivering heavy oil for co-liquefaction. But there's another reason for bringing heavy oil, is that you can use productivity modules on lubricant, which makes lubricant less compressive than heavy oil. So might as well just bring heavy oil on the trains instead of lubricant. So the next thing that I'm going to do is set up for the electric engines production. So the electric engine unit it's similar to processing units, But you need engines instead of advanced rockets, and you need a lubricant service sulfuric acid. The annoying part will be the fact that you will need some bit of a special products to get to making the things, and I still do not have enough chemical ones. Which is going to be a problem because this build also going to be using some chemical ones. We are not making them fast enough, though it shouldn't be too much of a problem, as we are slowly but surely building up our chemical ones over time. Days. Again, I want to make this as symmetrical as possible, so I don't get my brain explode when I try to do this. And I don't really need this, but sulfuric gas is slowly but surely being delivered. Yeah, the sulfuric gas can be a problem, and then petroleum gas will maybe a problem. But later, when we really start to really work on mining productivity, I believe it's no longer going to be an issue for oil. So we're basically up to our last component of the last factory before we move on. Or before really move on though. We have the responsibility to scale up the mineral production. I will possibly also like to get a third iron smelting production. This can just be done as it goes. But I will also like to get nature planners to taking action and remove the cliff if possible. And I will also like to get some electronic circuit production so I can aid both the advanced circuits and the processing units. There's going to be a lot of factory demand for this. While that is going, we are going to take our time on the production of processing units. This is a bit annoying part. As electromagnetic plants uses 4 per second of electronic circuits, so we cannot get an exact number or integer of electromagnetic plants to get this to work. And then as said that this is going to be a bit tricky for the things to be set nicely, but it can still be set quite nicely. Though this will need some. This will demand some tricky production lines going for that to function. So as 4 per second, oh yeah, because I added new stations. Not really much of a worry for that. I don't think I'm going to worry about the problem that is on. But I do have the responsibility to flip this fast so I can continue making. And that's going to be how and I will also like to trim it down to something like this. Alright, so that is the processing units. And the processing unit is going to be something like this. We also have the responsibilities to deliver the sulfuric acid for this to be built, or to be for processes to be made. And the first important thing is that I absolutely need to make sure I put the electronic circuits in the inner side of the belt. Otherwise, it's going to be too much of. It's going to be requiring too much of. It's going to be insufficient throughput for electronic circuits using the wet arms. And then the advanced circuit can just be on the outer side of the of the inputs. And then we put our processing units back into this section. I didn't make the trains for this feel difficult to make things too compressive. I basically shrunken down their capacity by basically setting the schedule. You don't really need to set up for the schedule for LDS or low density structure is now here. And oh dear, dear. Now we have 7.2,000 of the low density structure. It's a really easy build. It's not much to worry. But I'm most likely going to ask for a second plastic build as well. I don't think I necessarily need to worry about production for advanced circuits. But now this is the build. But it comes with responsibility for input. So let's talk about our mining. We only have one coal mining, we only have one stone mining, and we only have a little bit of copper and iron mining. For my preference, I would like to settle for 4 iron mine, at least 4 iron mining. As for oil mining, is just if you can get as much oil, try to get as much oil, really. Coal liquefaction, I can just leave those for now. So the first thing is, I would like to get that thing going, but I'm not sure about the enemy's presence there, so I will leave that for now. And I could potentially ask for. So it's going to be grid, and then it's going to be asking for. Oh wait, this is substation grid. I should be asking for. Robots in waterfalls. There's still gates here, so I only need to change these to gates. I also have the responsibilities to change this back to a chain signal. Oh, it was a wave signal. I just did not notice. Whatever. I don't want this to be a rail signal because rail signal basically indicates, oh, I run out of power, and oh yeah, I've been overusing power. I need more solar power. I've been overusing robots. Alright. 21.6 gigawatts of power. Apparently, I need to set up a nuclear power soon because, oh dear, dear. Oh dear, the dear. Time to get things into action, I suppose. So, how's our solar? I can only set for one more station solar. And that's not even the solar thing I'm talking about. Let's get to a solar station. At the current state, we are really dying out of power. Getting everything within visual signal just for to ensure that thing. At the current state, ninth, I think was nightfall. Yeah, the nightfall was serious, really serious. Now we are demanding 21 gigawatts of power. If we want to be able to take start all the robots, we need 21 gigawatts. That's a lot. We need to start to set up for our expansion for 500. So it has been very clear that we need to absolutely ramp up our way for production. Otherwise, we are going to have this situation like this, as you already see. The accumulate charger is really going down very, very fast. Fortunately, though, I started battery production. Then I can start to make accumulators, and then I can start to extend my solar power. So for now, we are going to be really, really focused on our solar power because it appears that I don't have enough power to, or it's just because of robot activities. I've been heavily using robots. This might be the real reason behind all of some stuff. Well, I can't work on most of the things. Might as well do some combats before to be able to see if there are anything around the enemy, any enemy presence around this iron patch, so I can make sure that I don't have to deal with enemies before actually start mining out this iron patch. I could presumably go for 2. I haven't upgraded it, so I also think I can upgrade the coal, so I will have to upgrade those for sure. Anyway, so I will potentially be able to get to use this iron patch, but first I need to make sure I don't need to worry about that the enemy presence there. So first I will try to see if there are any enemies around this iron patch before actually activating the whole thing. I shouldn't come here because that's extremely risky because I can easily get hit by a train and, well, it's gonna be very bad if I got hit by a train. The moment that we're so vulnerable and then we can just easily get crushed by a train, it's very dangerous act. I will have to get to the next tier of armor then, if I want to save myself from getting hit by trains and then bad things happen. So let's see, any enemy presence around this area. The closest one seems to be that one, but we'll also scout around the area before 0.9 hits. It seems this the ocean section, so less enemy pathway. No, not really. Oh, so there is a base here. There is a lake. Well, that is a lake. And so there is enemy presence over here. Let's get this to work. So I absolutely need to be aware of the fact of aware of the fact that I don't have much of an upgrade, or should I say, I should put focus on that. I don't have much upgrade on the stronger explosive because, well, not really have to bother going for strong explosive as I don't really have rockets at that moment. As the rockets themselves are not really easy to set up, so I haven't really bothered about rockets before I actually start to go out and do tougher bases, which I can then start to produce explosive easily enough. So I start to use rockets. So I wasn't focusing on upgrading this kind of a technology upgrades. So I only have this much of damage, so it's going to be a bit tough. It's going to be even more dangerous when we head towards the 0.9 evolution, where behemoths are going to spawn. But as we have the shields really carries through for what we potentially need to deal with. The enemy base are really, really easy with shields. I definitely suggest using shields as your passive regeneration because it is that useful. It makes things a lot easier for many reasons. Like you can passively regenerate technically, then you can easily cover of any kind of damage you take during the battle of the biters, the enemy, or should I say the enemies. But again, I don't have much of the weaponry upgrades, so I can't really expect my weapons to be doing brilliant job against this kind of level of enemy base. So I can only try my best at the current state and see if I can get the base taken down before the enemies reach the final stage of evolution, where they're going to spawn behemoth variants, and I don't think I'm going to be able to hold those off. Because I also don't have much of what I actually do, but I do have a bit of a laser upgrades that uses utility apparently. So the laser is possibly going to still be able to hold quite for a bit, but I can't be confident enough for that for any kind of talk about and I may have done a mistake for this soldier. I could have done probably gone bad. Literally going directly through the enemies is a dangerous act. Why would I go straight towards the enemies? I'm not sure. But and the enemies the boss are dead. Or should I say expired. So I will try to take down this nest and then see how the power is going. Because the power is really going poorly. Really poorly that I need to do some monitoring of my power. The only way to save power, well, I believe it was because heavy robot activity, and that amount of damage is kinda dangerous. I don't want to get through that. The shield almost got down, and then I take damage, and I'm presumably going to go downfall. Let's not get that to the head, though. Then we are going to be using the non-AOE rocket. This is not really the nicest of the list. And I'm going to be trying to use the poison to potentially get a better grip on these enemies by taking the enemies inside. The enemies that keep spawning away from damaging the enemies in the middle of the area, and then I started to deal damage with the destroyers and my shotgun. I feel like shotgun does more DPS, so I might as well just use the shotgun because I don't have that much explosive upgrade. And then I have used Spidertrons to deal with the biter bases. It's really about numbers. It's really about numbers. That you need and you are going to need several of them, and you are going to need to be able to produce rockets in mass quantities to make the Spidertron strategy useful. So the for so basically to set up for Spidertron or should I say attack with Spidertrons, you really need to prepare for plenty of rockets, really really large number of rockets before actually going, and then my shield is being torn down by the heavy poison, or should I say heavy acid, and half of my destroyers are down. I don't think biters damage the robots. Only the acid splash hits does. So the wolves are the most threatening part, along with the spitters. The most dangerous part are the most dangerous things for combat robots or like walker robots. If you want to walk around the base, maybe walk around their spawners, maybe. How's power? The power issue. How's it going? It the power is now all right. It was a scary moment, but it could also be told because it could also be possibly fossil because robot activities use a lot of power. Hence, how many do I have? I will be building another solar already, but I do not have enough. I don't have enough electromagnetic plants, so I need to go to Factorio to fix this problem. I'll be asking for 60, and alright, so that was a scary moment, but we managed to hold that part off. It could have gone badly, yes. I didn't notice this, and then I started to put into action that I could have put everything on low power and then just accidentally shut down all my machinery. Anyway, so the research section, as you can see here, later on we are also going to be using the research section. We don't want to know this camera for now. I think we are good with the iron patch here now. Well, at least I think that I shouldn't produce that much pollution. What is being used in the electromagnetic plant? Oh, it's the one that is making the electronic circuits. Alright. I thought it was the processors, but it was the electronic circuits. Anyways, the processors, well, the problem is the sulfuric acid is not, we're not getting much sulfuric acid. Maybe I should reduce the cap to 100,000. So be able to save out a bit more effort for those. Petroleum is running, the oil is running. It seems that we need more oil production, but is actually because of that we don't have much oil production. To the reason of that we actually being on some demand of that things. Alright, so let's talk about science production. So the first few things for science production is that we're going to have a loading station on each of this area. As for automation and logistic, there's going to be two of those. Two of those. There's going to be two of those. Obviously, it's not going to be that kind of a loading station. We definitely not going to be able to put that much of stuff. Throughput and unloading station for the first two sciences is going to be covering that area. And for chemical science, it's going to be to fluid unloading and to fluid unloading. And for military, it's going to be 5. I think 5. For production science, it's going to be 6. 6 production. 6. Utility is also 6, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. This is how we're going to set up for the station. And then we are going to set up we're going to assign the train stations afterwards. So the first thing is I need to change everything, every station that is going to be. I'm going to set up every station that is going to be a train station to be a chain signal. Replace those that is going to be the station. Those sites, should I say. As the goal is to not get any trains to stop in this middle section. I don't think that's a good idea. So I might as well just prevent that from happening in the first place, so I don't have to deal with any this kind of serious debugging. Though this thing is meant to be debugging anyways. Alright, so there is the science, and yes, I would like to take down the whole. I would like to tear the whole things apart though, because it's not necessary for this. Might as well just do an empty station. I may want to extend my blueprints to be able to handle this kind of thing, so I can place an empty train station. That doesn't specify for unloading or loading. Then I can use it for special purposes like yes. Anyways, because I'm going to remove this unloading. I was waiting for the electromagnetic plants to be delivered, as it is going to take a while for that to take effect. We will also going to need to remove this solar section. We are powered just on the margin. It is just on the margin. Oh my god. It's really that intense. It really is at the margin. It's only about 300 megawatts in accumulate of an overall accumulated charge of 90 gigajoules. That's only 1 in 300. That's crazy. 1 in 300 is quite a bit. It's very marginal. It's just almost none. Nope, we're definitely not running out of batteries. I highly doubt this is because of these batteries here. So I think that we have a large stockpile of batteries. Anyways, processing units. I haven't even set up a processing unit to be able to take the sulfuric acid in the first place, and the sulfuric acid hasn't been delivered to the thing. But the first problem is that we simply don't have. We simply don't have. We simply don't have sulfuric acid being delivered. Yeah, with sulfuric acid. I hope this gets sulfuric acid will be a bit better because oh my god, the sulfuric acid. There's currently only 2 things that have been using the sulfuric acid. Well, you just go. It's gonna be taken into the battery one. I want you to go to here. We'll set this to 100,000. Anyways, so then I will be able to take a test on this part. It uses 5 sulfuric acid. That was about. That's gonna be about 1800. No, 18,000. Though it's going to be a bit more than that because there is productivity in electromagnetic flux. Anyway, we have got our 60 electromagnetic flux. Let's put them back to the melters. Now the problem is, do I even have a cargo landing pad? I don't think I have the cargo landing pad. That's an issue. I need to get a cargo landing pad before it gets back to the place. Where is the cargo landing pad? It's here. Still quite away from us. Now it's near the nighttime and it's gonna be pretty bad. How power most likely. Alright, here is alright, let's see how the power goes. Yeah, it should be is a bit better. As a lot of mobile activity as well. That was nice. I feel like I got a reason to fix this. I will use base cleanup. No, was the power lines? Because this was a really old build with the power lines, and there's a large holes that many old things I didn't want into here. It's gonna be a while before that gets deleted, and it's gonna be even more power activities. Though I should be going out soon, I hope. Anyways, time to assign for the science receivers or delivery. And then I said I'm going to need water for chemical science. So let's also get this going. Alright, that should be how I'm going to get the things. Anyways, time to settle for the stations. So iron place. Mm, Alright, iron place, I think iron is gonna be here. I think it should be here. No need iron place, that's copper plates. Steel. Steel is going to be. I think it's going to be here. And the steel's going to be here for that. I might as well just be consistent with this. And coal receiver for military science only is going to be here. Stone receiver for that. Stone brick receiver. Steel. I want to be on the side of steel for that. And then stone brick here. I think I also need copper for this. I'll need for iron, electron circuits. We'll need electronic circuits for that. The fun circuit is going to be needed for production. We'll put the. Oh, I think I need electronic circuits. Well, I want to be consistent. Let's. And then I'm gonna put the fun circuits here. Processing unit is going to be here. Low density structure is going to be here. Engine units, electric engine. Oh, I haven't even outputted that. Hold on for a second for load. I will be setting up soon the battery receiver. Battery receiver, and let's do one thing left on that, so we set is the petroleum. Alright, that's all the things I wanted to set up for. Let's fix this electric engine units. They have been waiting, I haven't even put it back into place. And also solar should be fine. What happened to this? It's all bounded to 200. No, I don't want this to be bounded to 200. That's the problem. Because it hasn't been such a failure that it's going to be able to carry. It's going to be saved on a huge amount of items. So let's get this issue addressed. It's yet again another night time. We've been using the similar amount of power, more or less. Well, I think I should be fine. As our mission is try to get as much. I don't think I haven't been making the gates, I think. So I have to get that addressed. So let's get this part addressed. I also don't think I have landfill spinning. So let's make landfill. I will be making 1,000. And I will be doing this. And the stone is also going to be 1,000. Wall is going to be 1,000. Gates is going to be 100. I have radars being made. Oh, actually, I don't think or do I? I don't think I necessarily need to worry about that one. But it's time to fix stone. Stone production has been halted because, well, I cut this off. Alright, then this is going to be the way to get our resources. Then we need to get these resources to be put into Alright, that should be how I'm gonna deal with stone. But I want to make this a bit nicer to look at. So let's also get this a bit. I will create this so it's gonna be like this. And obviously, balance. Not much of a production, but I think this is a bit better. As for our current situation with cold storage, we should be fine for now, so I think I'm going to cut this down as well. And then I'm going to be applying the Roboport subgrid. And now, oh, I think this is off the logistic range, so it wasn't taking anything. Anyways, now we have our electromagnetic ones. Let's put this and solve things for good. And then we need to start tearing out the whole of this solar section to turn into a cargo unloading section. Well, it's all gonna be removing. Oh, that wasn't the one that I'm looking for. I'm looking to remove the tiles instead of building a ship. Anyways, the next thing I want to set for is to set for the cargo landing pad. Where we're going to be building what I can build. I don't want those ghosts. And I can tweak this thing. Well, it's going to be even more robot activities, which means a drastic drain of power. Oh dear. It has been worsened. Well, yeah. And it's keep draining, and that's very bad. I don't know how to save this. The only way I think about this is, well, put back the thing. I think that's the only way to save this now. On the way of that, I should also enable training zombies. So, collision or like jamming if that happens. Well, I am only going to have one train of each. Anyways. Change those to delivery. I think my power has basically died because I used too much robots. But it's climbing up. I hope this gets better. Oh, it appears that I haven't settled for these two. Production, delivery, utility delivery. House power is regaining, but I desperately need to start working on getting this thing solved. Because our power is dying fast. And the only way I think about how this can be resolved is. And then sulfur. I mean, it's going. It's just going slowly. At the moment, processing on the receiver is probably never going to be getting the thing, getting the cargo. But it's giving the cargo on the thing. But yeah, it's gonna be a while before I can potentially fully utilize all the things. But processing units are going. As for current situation, really insists on that we basically do not have enough production for solar power. So I think I'm going to fix this problem by introducing a new mining setup. So you recall that we have uranium. Well, I don't think that we are going to be able to get sulfuric acid into the thing. As of which one is very sad. Well, can't really help much of this. But I think I will get the uranium set up soon. But yeah, the power isn't so nice. And the oil is also not so nice. What happened to the oil mining? The oil has been mining, but not so fast. Well, nothing much we can do about this, I feel like. Is there any petroleum receiver? Alright. Get it to here. I want you to deliver petroleum for this. And yet again, another power consumptive move. Alright. So there is the petroleum. I will be using this petroleum. I don't think I need that much petroleum directly. I just need to get it in the tank here. And I should be able to get some I should be able to get some petrol. I should be able to get some sulfur out of this, and then make some chemical science so I can do some research for production science. Now let's see how many productivity modules I actually have. Not that much. I can use productivity module 1 though, but I still don't have enough productivity module 1. So I will be doing some productivity module while that is going. Yeah, I'll apologize for a while, and that wasn't nice as this thing is still going, and it's going very aggressively. Anyways, I think it's time to resolve the whole resource thing. First is to be able to give out the even distribution for such requirement. So the goal for the sign is my goal for each sign is half a yellow belt, 7.5 per second. So I will be aiming for this production rate for each type of science. As we are really stalled by production of oil. And the best way I can think about doing this is, well, there's no other way. I need to get research going now. So might as well just get the research going. Then I can potentially save myself. What is this? That's really simple. Okay. That isn't going so nicely because there's still some train stations that wasn't able to get the things going. And there's a lot of robots going nuts, and it's already powered down. Yeah, the uphill for this is so long. Well, that is going. I'm going to hard carry through this and add another solar if possible. Because I feel like I just need more solar power. I need to get this carry through. Because there is no other option. I need to do science. But I also need power, so I might as well just do both the science and the power. And try to go through this tedious process. And then I could potentially get the science done and get the power situation resolved at the same time. If I can do this, then I should be perfectly fine then. as for the current situation, as our iron mining here is down powered. Uh, I can't really do much before actually getting my mining productivity up. I really want to get my mining productivity up, as you can already see. There's a lot going on with mining productivity issues, and we have been really low on power. But I really want to get all things, the novice done. I really want to get novice done before leaving for the whole thing, as I can't no longer wait for any kind of things going through this. Because the longer I take here, I personally not going to be able to do what I wanted to do in the next few parts. I really want to get this done right now. So I put it on the wrong one for this. Alright, so the science was lacking accumulators. I can't really do much about this one now. It's gonna be what's happening for now. But yeah, then I can just ask for the science. I don't think I have that many cargo base, but I think I have cargo base. 29 of those cargo base. I could potentially put my cargo base around this whole thing. That's I don't want this. That's gonna be 23 cargo base. And this number of cargo base should be able to give me some extra inventory that I feel I'm gonna need. Yeah, as that goes, my power is really terrible. Oh my god. And then the power is going to be going downhills yet again. Alright. But I think it's time to finally set up the science production. So the first part of the production is going to be iron. The first part of the production is going to be iron gear wheels, and the iron gear wheels are going to be taken from 2 belts of iron. And this much will do the job. Though I need a green arm for this, most likely because the throughput demand is quite heavy for these. And that will be the first part of the ingredient that is needed for this first two science packs. And then we need 30 packs of. And then we need 30 packs for automation science. Also, I should set it up. So the first is the automation science. So there's going to be 30 of those. And then I will need to make a production for. I will need to take in the production, bit of a production of these things, of electronic circuits. I will put it here. So that is the third the second it's gonna be the second key ingredient. So the first key ingredient is set to be iron gear wheels. And the second key ingredient is going to be just the copper plates. So I only need copper plates for this section. And then need 30 for a whole build for the purpose needed. And then we are going to be applying the modules. How's power? Power is really bad, but at least we survived the nighttime. Well, at least this nighttime. I don't know what is going to happen in the next few night times, but yeah. Then the second copper belt is going to be here. So the first thing is I want to insert it on the right. So 7.5 of these things is going to be 3 of this thing, 2 of those that thing. The reason behind this, I think I want to flip this. Is that then I can do something like this and then easily get through all these things. I could potentially just ignore this. Or I can just make it simple. Though I want it to be extensible for higher production rates if I want to seek for any higher production rate, then I can easily upgrade this. I want to settle from the back, so the extensibility is better. Alright, so that is the logistic science backed materials. So it's very similar. It's going to be the similar way that I'm going to do this. So might as well just mirror the whole thing that I do. And simply change this to logistic science. And we can start this exercise. So and take it down to here. And then this is the very basic part of the nature. This few things are really easy. I will skip the military science for now, as most of the military science will also require utility science, which we have an issue working on for now, because batteries never come and processing units, well, they just come, but battery is still a huge issue. And we don't have much oil to deal with that, so we will be ignoring that for now, and we're going to be heading towards for chemical science for now. So the purpose for chemical science is this. So we need 11.25 per second of advanced circuits and 3.75 sulfur. So 3.75 sulfur is going to be about, well, 112.5 per second of petroleum gas. So this whole system is going to be able to, I would say, about 25 minutes of this chemical science production. And the engine units is, well, engine units, I don't really need to worry about the engine units. As our throughput should be able to hold the 75 per second. So how I'm gonna do chemical science. So the chemical science is a bit special. There's it takes a lot of assembly machines to set up for the chemical science. So what I want to do is I want to split the first is to look at the rate of chemical plant assembly for sulfur is 2 per second. So I could potentially divide this into 2 and then just do easy things for that. Is the logistic science on the way? We have the belt of ingredients going. It should be fine then. So there is the water. Extent is 155. It should be fine. So let's so basically I will need double. I'm not joking. Double of this. How much of a logistics sense maker is going to be requiring double of those number of machines for chemical science. So yes, 72 packs, and I'll just don't do it that way. So how are we going to do this? So similarly to what I did with that, and then chemical science is going to be done with something like this, and then that's 36 machines, yes, and then we can do something like this, and then we can copy something else, something like this. And then it's from left to right. So I would like to most likely to flip this. It most likely. Would you have imagined 36 of these can, or should I say, one chemical plant of this thing is going to be able to hold this many with a surplus? So yeah, that was impressive. So the first thing is I need to find a way to get the sulfur out of this thing. And then it's going to be it's going to be similarly with this. And I don't need this best. But no. as the science is going slowly but surely. Now we can roll in the whole design. And now it is time to deliver the advanced circuits and the engine units to the whole thing. Just copy the whole thing on the other side, and make sure there is the capability for full inputs, and oh, I deleted that. Don't do that. Alright. So the next thing is I'm gonna put the petroleum gas. Oh, that was not even applied. Alright, so that is petroleum gas. Next is water. Next is to bring this water. So here is the water that I just delivered a while ago. Now it's time to finally get this delivered to the chemical plants, and we can finally make the chemical cells. And obviously, he's going to be going with efficiency modules for sure. And then this is the chemical science, and it's also very easy. So it was all behind the fact that I already made all this. We don't have steel. Oh wait, since the steel production isn't going because we do not have enough iron mining, it appears. Oh well, that doesn't help too much on that. And it appears that we don't have steel. How many engine units? We have quite a bit of engine units that I should be able to carry through for a bit. But it's finally time for the one last critical piece of puzzle. The production science. So this is a critical science for research because if you look for any productivity research, basically all the except for the productivity module, that's off the question. So these are the productivity research. So as you can see here, let's just not talk about research productivity, as it's all science packs. But as you can see here, you will need production science for all the science involved in productivity. So the only way to get this through is that we get our production science going. So we don't get our production science going, and then we're not going to be able to research any productivity research. And productivity research is something that you want to get because it's just that nice. It's just so nice to have the capability for researching productivity research. It's really nice to have a bit of a productivity going. So I would like to get a production sense going right now. It's quite complex it's quite a bit complex in the way that I am going to be using it's going to be quite a bit complex because I'm going to be using I'm going to make all three ingredients on site. Compared to all, well, not really all, because we're also going to be doing this for military, but in the first two basic, but there's a few basic sense should be very easy to make. But one of the most difficult parts for production science actually not the fact that well, it's also the fact that you will need a huge amount of steel and advanced circuits. But it's also there's another difficulty involved is that you will need to deliver mass quantity of rail for that production. So we want 7.5 per second of production size, which means we need 75 per second of rail. 75 per second rail is just, well, that's an impressive number. So let's see how we're going to deal with this. So the first thing, there's only one thing needed for stone brick, so I can easily get this traces with the... And there's only one thing needed for for the for the electronic circuit. Well, there are two things I need for advanced circuits. So I will have to disable the operating. Yeah. So let's talk about how I'm going to actually get to the rail. So the rail is actually quite simple. It's one stone, one steel plate, one iron stick. The only problem is that I need to make iron stick. Also, hasn't anyone actually used G to switch between ground and elevator paths? So something like you tap G and I should have changed it. So if you go with this plan and then you are going to be able to switch the rail layer, something like this. Yes. But is this useful though? I'm not really sure because, well, I'm not really there onto the whole thing about this rail planning thing. Anyways, so the first thing is that we need to make huge quantities of rail. That is going to be very surprisingly difficult to deal with. So let's talk about the insanity of rail production. So 75 per second, that will be consuming huge quantity of many things involving stone. And then later on, when I finally get the basic science production, I will have to basically escalate all the things so I can actually get the science. I can keep the science running. But let's go with the rails. So one iron stick assembly is going to be able to handle 2 rail assemblies. And then for the throughput that we are going to get for is going to be something like this. So this is 20 per second rail. So this is 40 per second rail. I don't want to make this way too complicated for myself, but as things are going quite obnoxious as the rail is insane. I don't need that much production, so we will be doing a simplified way of doing the rail. So the first thing is here I want to put the iron on the inner on this outer side of the belt, and then I want to do this thing and then start making this one, and I'm gonna go with that. Else, and then I can keep this flowing. For the first three, I'm most likely going to be doing this, and then we can have something like this. So this later three takes in the inner, the outer side of the belt, and then this one going to be taking the inner side of the inner side of the belt. And the output is going to be something like this. Or should I consider this? Oh, so that is the first materials, and then the second part of the materials can be put it this way, or I should ignore this because that's not the real assembler. Those are needed for real assemblers, not the iron sticks. So I could do something like this, and then we can start to work on iron stick production. So iron is going to be put into the outer side of the belt, of the double belt, and then stone and steel are going to be put into the other side of the production line. I will get the steel first, I think, so I can think around this. And then I'm going to raise up the level. And then this is going to be how I'm going to get the most score. And then we output the rail. And then we can put the rails into the second block, where I'm going to actually make the size. Okay, so that is the first ingredient done. So that is the most difficult ingredient, I would say. So that most difficult ingredient is done. So let's talk about the next few ingredients. First, let me see how many electronic units plants I have. 20, so it should be fun. So the next thing is we need 2.5 of each of the electric furnace and productivity module. These are not as mass productive compared to the rails, which you need a lot of those, which throughput can be an issue. For the second part of the picture, the production science picture, these are made with lower quantities but requires more advanced resources, like advanced circuits. Well, advanced circuits. So these are being made with 0.2 per second, which means we will need to be able to supply over to be able to handle the required production rate for. I'm going to do this. Let's see. Oh, this is going to go something like this. And then I need 13 of these things. Well, considering that I don't think I ever actually need this. And then same for those, so I don't need to overcomplicate this whole thing. So so this doesn't need that. I don't think I need this kind of mess, as the throughput for each of these are not that much. We don't need too much of those things. So we can do some easy things like this. Maybe not the right way to put the long arms. Alright, so that's a thing to think about. But with this going, we can then make our productivity more just easy. And yeah, electromagnetism helps quite a bit actually. So alright, so that is the first thing that we need to use the earthbound circuits. And the second thing also going to need a phone circuit, and that is the electric furnace. So we will put electric furnace here. And the electric furnace is made in an assembler. So electric furnace is we will need 10 of those. But I will make 12 because nicer fit. Also comes with a bit surplus, so I can see field builds if sufficient resources are being fed, that is. And so the first thing is this needs steel, and it also needs stone bricks. And the throughput for steel and stone bricks is quite demanding, so we'll be using the same thing that comes from here. And then just do the same basic thing, and then very easily done with this. I want this to be on the inner side of the belt, so I can also apply the same thing that I did here. But it's going to be on the opposite side of the... It's going to be on the opposite side of the belt. And then this can be changed to the style, this form, and then that's the electric furnace. Alright, so the power is kind of going alright now, as there isn't much of a intense, but as you can already see that we already have our power restored back again. Well, let's not disappoint our power, our power consumption. Make more so, and let's not disappoint our power, and we're going to get more power. Alright, so for production size, we need 42 production assembly for that. So I will divide the thing into 3 sections. So 14, 14, 14. So the way I'm gonna do this is quite similar to the way I do the furnace stacking, or anything is really based on furnace stacks. But you know what I mean. We're going to be doing the basic furnace for the way that I do this to the furnace for the furnace method. So I'll put it in the middle of the thing. We're going to have a huge amount of wheels going from here. And then we're going to put the similar thing that we put with our chemical science and do this whole thing. And then we can set the whole like production science and then copy the whole thing for 3 times. And then there comes a bit tricky part here. It needs quite a bit, but I don't think that bit is too much for a green browser. I'll be using a blue browser now. But if I am demanding more production, I may have to go for green. I may have to go for green on. That's a lot of rails for sure. But the rail is getting addressed. The rail is getting addressed. Now, the next thing is we need to put our productivity module and our electric furnace. We need to put our productivity modules and electric furnace. So logistically is going to be a bit more tricky. We will be doing something like this. And then we can just do something like this for this one. And for productivity modules, it's gonna be something like this. And I can just go towards straight in. Alright, so that is the production science, and then we just basically wait to see if it actually works. If it actually works. If it doesn't, and then I don't know how I'm gonna talk about this. In case of I need of any more production science, we're going to leave space. And I might as well just use both sides for this glitter. Alright, even more robot activity. But we have built a bit more of solar power. I hope the solar power issue is addressed. So let's not left off long. So let's see. Automation delivery, automation receiver, logistic delivery, logistic receiver, military delivery, military receiver. I will have to set for military soon. Chemical delivery, chemical receiver. Production delivery, production receiver, and then finally utility. So it's gonna be this setup. So what I want to do here is I'm gonna set for full cargo or item count, and then empty cargo, full fuel. We want the end for the full fuel and the empty cargo on the receiver. We want to I want the trains to be fueled before going to collect the science packs, so it doesn't run out of fuel. And I also suggest that you have the fuel schedule, or like at least a weight condition for fuel, so you don't have this problem. You don't encounter this problem, that is. So we can also set up for a time condition for this, but I don't want to make this way too complicated for myself. Alright, next is set up for our science. So I want them to leave with 2,000 pack each before returning to the station, to the science receiver station. And then we can run the train. Obviously, that we don't have military or utility setup, so those will be waiting at the delivery at the moment. Let's see how production stands. It's being made, but it's made quite slowly, but it's going. So we can only hope and pray that it doesn't take too much for us to get the setup. But here is the basic science packs, and the batteries also be delivered. Alright, so I will take a short break and and then return to finish the remaining two science packs. Alright, so I'm back. So let's get away with the last few packs before ending this. So the first thing is the military science. So the military science, there's three components for military science. So the first is piercing rounds magazine. So we need three that's of a fight of this thing. So let's see how I'm gonna do this. So I would like to have two belts of copper plates for this. But I think well, actually, I'm just gonna go with 2,000 for steel as well. This is gonna be a bit easier to arrange this. So we need 3.75 of each for each of the piercing rounds magazine. So let's take a look into the magazines. So the first is the piercing rounds. This is produced at 1.25 per. So we actually don't need that much of production for piercing rounds. As three of those is going as a basic cycle like this is just going to be sufficient. So what I can potentially do here is that as for our demand is going to be 15 iron, so and then there is also going to be another so 4 iron plates. So this is and the 5 iron plate for grenades. So it's also 3 or 7 5. It's also one belt. It's also capable of 1 belt. So I am going to be asking for 2 belts of an iron, and one of the belt, and one of which is going to be delivered upwards, so I can make the piercing rounds. Let's see our current progress on the, our science packs have been delivered, but we seem to have issues in our current science. Oh, it's probably on the way. Uh, it's on the way. No, it has been delivering science packs, and before I start to work on the science, oh no, I've been putting. Oh no, what just happened? No, I don't want my labs to go with efficiency modules or 6. We wanted to have productivity module. And I'm also thinking deleting this. I will be replacing those with tier 2 organization for 100 of the tier 2 modules. Tier 2 speed, tier 2 efficiency. Uh, well, actually, I'm going to be asking for 150 of the tier 2 efficiency. As a tier 2 efficiency can be useful on something like crushers, especially in the space where like crusher costs a lot of power, and it's not enough. It's also because it only has 2 module slots, so you cannot just simply put an efficiency one and get a minimum consumption. As our productivity modules are getting in, we can slowly but surely start to take into research into the wonderful world of researching technologies for real. And yeah, that would be brilliant. So let's see. Well, so taking 3 rows. Nice. It's going to be a bit messy for this, but can't wait help with this. It happens to be something like this. Oh dear. I wouldn't like to encounter something like this, but I guess we will go with this now. As this is a little bit complex. So. Anyways, this really looks excessive. Sorry for that because it wasn't really thoroughly planned, but there's gonna be something like this. And I'm gonna be adapting the similar design that I had for the rail and yeah, those things. But I only need to really go for 1 belt for this because we don't even need that much throughput for this thing. So we are gonna be simple. We're gonna be doing a simple solution to this one, so I don't have to worry too much about focus. Well, actually, we don't worry about focus, especially in the late game where focus is everything. But at the moment, we don't really need to worry about the focus for this kind of science that's this kind of things that are made quite slowly. But one thing for certain, I do not want you to be leaving that little bit of item on the splitter. So I will be doing this. Otherwise, I'm not happy. And I don't know what I would do to my factory if that happens. So I don't know what I would do to my factory. I just so that is 3.75 per second of a piercing round magazine. A very straightforward piercing round, and I'm just going to be flushing into a single belt. No need for much of a thing. Alright. I mean, why wasn't that working? Okay. Yeah, so the second ingredient for the production is grenade, and grenade is a bit uh, costly and it's a bit of slow. Is a bit slow. So I will be making grenades here. So the first thing is the grenades is quite costly in the way that it needs quite a bit of coal. That it needs 37.5 coal for the fructose needed, which also means that we need 2 belts of coal. So to counter to resolve this problem, I will need to build. I will need to get a second belt of coal going in the. We'll need a second belt of coal going in to be able to produce the grenades needed for this rate of production. So let's set this to grenade, and then I'll be taking the one I made for. Did I actually make that copies? I need to the only way the only thing I haven't figured about using the same thing is this. And then we're going to do something like this. And as for how many I need, 3, this is, so 1.5, so let me bring out my calculator again. So, grenades is made in 8 seconds, so 1.25 divided by 8. Then we take the, so for 1 per second requires 6.4, and then we multiply this by 75, straight as 75. It's going to be needing 24. So 12 of each lane should be good for the production needed for this science. Then the grenades and the piercing round should be on the different belts. Then we can start to work on it. So the wall is a bulky. We need 7.5 per second of wall. And that you need to know one thing is that the walls are made very fast, and you will need to walls are really made very fast. So I don't even think I need to do some because it's things like this. I just gonna be doing some really bulky things like, well, did I actually sell for things that, that wasn't on the topic? I did this for that, but I don't think I did this for this. Oh, that was. Oh no, oh, I actually did. So, it's good. I don't have steel. That wasn't funny. That was, what's the reason behind the steel? It was because we don't have iron in it, so yeah. Let's take our time and start research mining plans. Might as well just start researching mining productivity while I'm trying to get all the things done here. So this is the wall. Yes. So the wall is going to be done this way. It's going to be done this way. And then we're going to be basically doing this easy wall. An easy way to wall the thing up to Factorio. Alright, so the next thing is production for military sun is similar to how much you need for formation size spec. Which you will need 30 of each. You will need 30 for the focus needed. So let's get this going. And then we can set this to military science. Military science. Actually, all of them will be taking the efficiency module. Thank you very much. Alright, so the next thing is utility science, and this is the last science pack that you can do without engaging with space stuff, but it has been caring for quite a lot. So the first thing is the robot frames for how many you actually need is 2.5 per second for now. So for 2.5 seconds of fine robot frames, we already have the ingredients that are directly available here, including the electric engine units. So with this going, we can pretty easily make the needed ingredients. Pretty much very easily make the flying robot frames. So this is the flying robot frame. So the most demanding item is electronic circuit at a rate of 7.5 per second. That also means that I can just very easily tear out these balancers. We don't need these balancers. We just need a single entry. And we are really running out of steel. This is very bad, as we have been on the extreme shortage of steel. It doesn't mean any good thing, to be realistic. It doesn't mean anything good. So, nothing really nice to expect, because as we run out of steel, awful things are most likely going to happen, and I'm most likely going to not be able to get the sandstone. But I should be able to get mine profile finished, I hope, because trains are going to be delivered 2,000 cents. I hope so. If not, then I have no clue how I'm going to get this free. Really. Yeah, so for the first thing is I want to do the similar thing, but it's a bit complex because you will need to do something like this, and yeah, you will need to do something like this to be able to. It's a bit complex for these entry points, but as the entry points are set, we can pretty easily put it somewhere in the, and then we can start to deliver the belts. So we're going to be making 3 belts for production for 2.5 per second of production. That scared me really. Haven't completed a research for a very long time. So, all right. So how much of flying robot frames? 2.5, right? It's a very slow build. So to accomplish, let's put our calculator yet again. So this is made with 20 seconds that we, to achieve 1 per second of production, we will need 16. And then to accomplish the 2.5 per second needed, we will need 40 of those. So I want to make a 48 setup here, so I can nicely have a brief surplus for production that could potentially, well, not really useful robots, but I could potentially, if I want to scale the size, it'll be a bit easier. So I will be using the similar thing that I did to the military science here, as this is a relatively slow build. It doesn't need too much of the thing, so I only need to change this to flying robot thing, and here we go. An easy solution to the problem. And then I would like to get to a more a simple way to get to this thing, and then I can easily copy paste the whole thing. And then have this go. And then here is the flying robot thing. Yes, then we can put our flying robot thing, let's say, here. Alright, so that is the flying robot frame. So the similar thing, I think I will be doing this really similar thing to the utility science. But set it is to a utility science, obviously, because well, you wouldn't try to deliver production science. You wouldn't try to make production science using utility science materials, will you? Oh well, probably by accident. And I think I only need 1 belt, 5 per second of, as we only need 5 per second of processing units. I will only need 75 per second of low density structure. I think we should be perfectly fine to go with this. I think this one will just be easy delivery. We're going to just be easy delivery with this. How's our military science? They are being delivered, isn't being fully utilized. Seems so. So let's go back to our utility. What's happening to left? I don't know. But it's says in there. This time is almost finished. For sure. For sure. And we can finally work on other stuff. While the science is being researched, well, the technologies are being researched, but now I'm not sure because mining productivity is a bit slow payback. But there's another but. We have this thing. We can use this thing. And I would like to get to the utility sense soon. Also, most likely it's because of the stockpile of production sense that was hard carrying the whole thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to get things done because that hard carry of science is going to be that I have stopped mining productivity that the things shouldn't work anymore until I get to I fix my whole science setup pretty much. So the one last thing before I close up this part, as I finally basically completed all the science packs at this current moment, has been 3 hours, or 3 hours in the video. There was a pause in the middle. But we're finally done with basically done with the science. We just need to extend production for some other things, and we should be perfectly fine for the next project, which is going to Gleba. And as for our power, I also have slowly but surely, we have gone for several downhills with the science. As I tried my best to go for any of these things. I'm going to put the solar grid because why not? Solar grid is so good that I would like to just put all two of those into where I could potentially put. But there's another problem, as I cut off this coal production and I don't know why you neglect it. We're gonna get this solved quick. Otherwise, we're going to run out of coal, and we're going to run out of plastic, and we're going to run out of fast circuit, and we're going to not be able to make some logistic things, and it's going to be a nightmare. Or we already run. No. Would have thought that I would already run out of fast circuits because we're not gaining. Oh, that was in the opposite direction. Let me change this. This is not too easy to read the direction for this blueprint. Let me cut off any excess unrequired, not required pieces of the building, and then we can put basically the same thing with the stone. Is the stone going? Yes, the stone is going very nicely. So now let's just put the focus on the stone production because stone is very nicely created at the current state. And our stone production is going very nicely. But our utility science still takes time to get to. But we're finally good with our science demands. Or should I say, I finally up for science production. After so long, it takes so much time to settle for science production. I don't need the robopods here. Alright. So I could have potential. I don't need this. I don't know why I had to need this, but it's not needed. Anyways, getting this coal mining resolved because we have been slowly but surely draining our coal supply or like coal storage. Well, maybe yes. But iron is definitely short, and I'm definitely going to resolve the problem for iron because if I don't resolve the problem for iron, I can't get the research going. And everyone will be sad about this. And then our finance production is going to decline very fast. It's going to go downhill real fast. As a speaking of which, I can also start to finally work on stronger explosive after I have this thing set up as our flying robot frame. Is it going to lack of steel? It's very hard to tell. Also, because the battery is also the one that is not sufficient. But I'm going to cancel all the things first, and then we're going to be seeking for stronger explosive. And as for the space science, we can basically start to ask for space science as well. So I'll be asking for 2,000 at the moment, but for now we are going to be putting our space science and the metallurgic science and put it back this processing module for now because it's not really needed at the moment. I could potentially get crushing a train like that. But now we can get our space science delivered like that. And then we can have our space science easily delivered with a bit of comfort and approach for any kind of things that we're potentially going to need, like the strongest boss in the research. And so we are going to start to work on this iron patch because we don't get to resolve our iron mining solution. Iron mining, we're not going to be able to resolve many of the problems we're going to encounter when we're not going to be able to resolve many of the problems we're potentially going to encounter in the future. So let's get this set up. And then the next thing is we need to make an iron. Well, this is an iron receiver, not iron mining. Here's a iron mining. So yes, actually, what's some more for this iron mining? I will take the one from this. That wasn't updated. Where's it for that? Wasn't updated. That wasn't this one thing. This hasn't been updated. I don't have that set up. That would be horrible if that wasn't the case. Anyways, with this new iron mining is about to be set up, and then we can take in the some delivery paybacks. And we can also use this uranium. So yeah, it's how's our production sense? Steel is being delivered again, but yeah, was not that nice because that was not nice. While space science is being delivered, also utility science is now finally going into the labs, so we can start to research on useful, nice upgrades. What kind of upgrades I can potentially use? Lab research speed 6. Let's try to get this one first before I continue any research. And then I can research strong explosives, might as well get electro weapon damage, light on. Oh, maybe how put this in the middle or something like this. So that's. Anyways, that will be also very nice to get it increase the follow robot counts. Then we can have very nice time uh, with our offensive capabilities, and we should be perfectly fine then in Alphys. So the next thing is I probably want to also set this up for copper production. So let's get casting another nature plane into this. It doesn't seem to be any cliffs, but I want to have some substance. I'll have some water place here. And then we're most likely going to be needing more solar power. How much I will have enough for one tile, so let's put another solar grid here. Yeah, things are getting very easy for that. Also, cliff explosives, we still have 388, we should be fine. Though I don't think I have much on the kill side. Yeah, not much. But all that kind of sort of problem will be resolved, and then later, when I get to Gleba, and then later I will be able to get get that problem resolved very nicely. Once I get to Gleba, we will be able to get advanced H-ray processing, which I can then get calcite, and basically be able to get a sufficient calcite for Alphys, so I don't have to launch rockets from Falconers to be able to get calcite, so I can save some rocket materials for that part. And then later that we can also get our captivity. This means some important powerful things like the biolabs. This is a super nice upgrade for lab researching. Basically doubles your research rate, and it's decent. And then there's a productivity module 3, which is also decent, though it's only really decent if you can get it to legendary, as the legendary will give you 25% very huge amounts of boost. If I will have to tell you, that's a lot of boost for that. And then you get a Spidertron after Rocket Tour. That is, there are some very gimmicky things, but there's also stacking certain. Let's see. Stacking certain. So there is a stacking certain. So the stacking certain actually improves big mining drills as well as the recyclers. Not just so you can benefit. You can benefit from this research even without actually using the stacking certain. And then there's a transport capacity too, which then you can get an even further upgrade for non-bulk inserted capacity. So similar to the inserted capacity bonus 7 or 2, which also gives that upgrade. It's an interesting upgrade that helps that out. And then you get the productivity research and this infinite, also even stronger explosive research. You definitely want this. For refined flammable, I don't think I will be going for refined flammables. I don't use flamethrowers. Maybe I should use flamethrowers. Not sure about that though. Yes. As the iron mining is setting up, it will potentially comes with some responsibilities that I have to protect the place with laser turrets. So maybe in the future I would like to get some things going, as our production science is really dying out for the reason that we cannot get our steel needed for electric furnace. Oh dear. Yeah, we're really running out of steel. I can't help with this. And yeah. that will have to come in the future, and the iron mining is slowly but surely being established for the way that we can get our iron mining set up. There are many uh, things I can think about in the future. That after finally setting up this entire science production, we can finally set up for the. I can finally set up for the entire science production. So let's just taking the science snapshot before I leave. And that goes for, and I can finally upgrade my strong explosive research. This gonna be helping us. Is it because this is, yeah, it's a 30 second. I think strong explosive uh was 60 seconds, so yeah, it was a bit slow. It was. Anyways, as that goes, we have basically set up our science production. Now our next goal is that we need to start to establish mining productivity research. Very important. If I don't get to mining productivity, I don't think things will be nicely treated. But here we go. We finally got our science production going with with the with the approach for researching at 7.5 per second that is equal to 450. Obviously, that is not going to be the not going to be reached before I actually have everything set. I actually get to set up my mining, that kind of thing. But as that goes, we can then eventually get some significant upgrades, like even more robot counts. That is going to be very nice, and even stronger explosives. So I can finally get my rockets upgraded to a nice state so I can actually do reasonable damage to the enemies. And I will have a lot better time dealing with the devices. And oh my god, the pollution level is really rising up before I get the science efficiency modules set up. But anyways, so if we want to follow the series, consider subscribing and turn on the notifications. And I will see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.